Mayfield steps up.
Baker Mayfield is hot again, but it's been a tumultuous NFL career. And with news he's now suing his family's investment firm, it's worth asking, has money and these family dynamics around investment issues played a role in his career ups and downs? Let's take a look at Mayfield's career and then where his money was going and why it matters from a financial advice perspective. As the NFL's #1 draft pick in 2018, Mayfield landed at the worst franchise in American football, the Cleveland Browns. He signed a $32 million contract with the Browns, along with inking a whole host of endorsement deals. His rookie year was positive, as the quarterback led the Browns to their best record in over a decade and broke the record for the most touchdowns thrown by a rookie. Despite the high expectations for his second season, 2019 was a step back. A new head coach came in and the Browns went backwards, as Mayfield threw almost as many interceptions as touchdowns. In 2020, Mayfield and the Browns recovered. They made their first playoff appearance since 2002 and won their first playoff game since 1994. Mayfield looked like he might be the face of the franchise for a long time. But in 2021, Mayfield and the Browns sunk again. Mayfield spent most of the season injured, playing in a harness. In frustration, after throwing an interception, Mayfield attempted a tackle he shouldn't have and ended up with a torn labrum. The tear affected his ability to throw, and despite his increasing lameness, he couldn't be convinced to stop playing and head for surgery early. The pressure was on with the 5th-year option on his contract coming up, and he clearly didn't want to give up his job. Regardless, in 2022, the Browns wanted to move on. It was quite the indignity. Mayfield was the first #1 draft pick in some time to have the team that drafted him not pick up the 5th-year option of his contract. After recovering from labrum surgery, Mayfield was signed by the Carolina Panthers. Unfortunately, he played poorly and was benched. Towards the end of the season, Mayfield asked to be released. Needing a quarterback, the depleted Los Angeles Rams signed him, offering an opportunity for Mayfield to showcase himself. He won his first game with a miracle drive in the last minute, but otherwise struggled. Last season, Mayfield signed with the Tampa Bay Bucks on a low incentive-based deal. His base salary was $4 million, when the top quarterbacks were earning at least 10 times that. It was probably his last chance to prove himself as a starter, but Mayfield delivered. 4,000 plus yards, 28 touchdowns, a winning record, a playoff win. A healthy new contract with the Bucks followed. 3 years, $100 million, $50 million guaranteed. Positively, Mayfield has continued to deliver for the Bucks. But again, this isn't a football story, it's a financial advice story. The same week Mayfield was named as a starter for the Bucks in 2023, another piece of less positive news emerged. Attorneys for Baker and Emily Mayfield filed a petition in the Travis County District Court to request information regarding the potential misappropriation of $12 million by an Austin investment firm. The petition was filed Tuesday in the 250th District Court, and attorneys are asking the defendants, Camwood Capital Group, Camwood Ventures, Texas Contract Manufacturing Group, Unitech, Apex Machining, and Lawvan to turn over financial records from 2018 to 2023, and for witnesses to provide oral depositions to help the Mayfields figure out where their money has gone over the course of 5 years. Petitioners simply do not know if their money has been properly and competently invested, has been stolen, or otherwise misappropriated, or something in between, the document stated. The kicker? Camwood, the Austin investment firm in question, was founded by Baker Mayfield's family. His father and brother are key people at the firm. When asked about the petition by the media in 2023 and whether it was a distraction, Mayfield kept it brief.
I'll say this, it's been a long time coming for that. I'm not going to comment on any details, but I've been dealing with that stuff for years now. So mentally, I'm in a much better headspace. So we're ready to roll.
The fact Mayfield was questioned about distractions is no coincidence. Despite it being a physical game, the quarterback position requires mental acumen, a strong memory, and sharp decision making. Quarterbacks need to memorise a complicated playbook for their own offense, study defenses to read the game, and process information very quickly. As Hall of Fame quarterback Peyton Manning described it in the Netflix documentary series, Quarterback.
I'm a little biased, but for my money, there's simply not a harder position in sports than being an NFL quarterback. I mean, think about it. As the quarterback, every single play, you're the focus. You have to know everyone else's job just as well as your own. Can't hear half the time. The weather's bad. You got 300-pound linemen trying to kill you. Win or lose, you are going to be front and center.
Great job!
You have to give credit when it's good. You have to take the blame when it's bad. You have to face the music when times are tough. And there's always someone waiting to take your spot.
In the same series, quarterback Kirk Cousins shows how he uses neurofeedback to train his brain and maintain focus, while Marcus Mariota shows his routine of being quizzed on plays by his wife. It's the reason why quarterbacks are so well paid. It's a high-pressure job only a select few are successful at over the long term. It requires commitment and distractions aren't welcome. The fact Mayfield was petitioning to find out where a significant amount of his money went was a massive failing by those advising him. The headaches, stress and distraction could have materially affected his career. One can only speculate from afar, but concerns over money and the looming 5th-year option on his contract in 2021 may have weighed on his mind and been behind the decision to play on injured. The fact the missing money was being managed by family members would have further complicated the issue. A 2019 article on Mayfield's financial management highlighted he was aware of how important maintaining his football focus was. He said having the business and financial infrastructure in place to protect his earnings and bolster them with sound investments allows him to concentrate on football and not worry about the money catastrophes that have bankrupted other star athletes, including prominent former Browns quarterback Bernie Kosar. The article then asked Mayfield's brother Matt where some of Mayfield's money was being invested, and it was alarming. Camwood has traditionally invested in precision manufacturing companies with annual revenue of $5 million to $50 million. But in 2018, it launched a venture capital arm called Camwood Ventures that invests in growing young companies. Mayfield has put some of his money through that investment vehicle. Small private manufacturing companies and venture capital. It lines up with the information in the petition Mayfield and his wife filed. Mayfield's father and brother might have argued they had expertise in these areas, but small private manufacturing companies are niche and undiversified, making them high risk. As far as venture capital, despite high-profile successes, the failure rate of startup companies can be 90%. Most investors don't see a return. Matt Mayfield made much of Team BRM, an entity at Camwood put together specifically to manage Baker's business and investment interests. But there seemed to be little insight into who they were advising. Mayfield won the lottery when he was drafted at number 1. He earns millions of dollars a year, but his job requires a clear head and involves being chased around by large men who can seriously injure him. He didn't need the risk or complexity that comes from investing in startups or a narrow group of private companies in one sector. For Mayfield's advisors, the most important thing should have been protecting the money, accounting for the risks of his vocation, achieving a market return, and not letting money be a distraction. He was already rich, and his career and sponsorship earnings, if successful, would have dwarfed any investment earnings in the short term. Mayfield would have trusted his family. But trust doesn't equal a robust investment philosophy. Trust also doesn't guarantee a return, but misunderstanding personal and investment risk increases the likelihood of allocating money to the wrong asset classes and financial loss. Contrary to what people may believe, good financial or investment advice is not about chasing high returns. Good advice is about ensuring someone's financials align with their circumstances. Consideration needs to be given to stage of life, employment, family, earnings, and existing wealth, among other things. It's a holistic process. Getting it right should allow someone to forget about money and focus on what's most important to them. That could be spending time with their family, enjoying their hobbies, running their business, or in Baker Mayfield's case, allowing him to perform at his optimum in a high-pressure job as an NFL quarterback.
2nd and 10. Mayfield to the end zone to Jefferson. Is that possible? Touchdown.